Hello everyone and welcome to today's video. If you're new here, hey, my name is Brittany and I talk all things beauty here on my channel. And in today's video, I'm going to be doing a full face of new makeup. So if you like watching videos like this, then please stick around for today's video. So I've got the new Physicians Formula Butter Glow Concealer, the Butter Glow Liquid Bronzer, the Butter Bronzer Contour Palette. I've got the new Simply Posh Berry Icy palette, the Nomad Verona Love and Death palette. I've got the new e.l.f. lippies. I have got the Telescopic mascara. So we're just gonna jump into it and apply some makeup. Okay, so now that we are nice and zoomed in, let's start putting makeup on my face today. Before I put on the base, I want to pop into my Tower 28, my new Juicy Lip Balms. This is in the shade Mix. This one is like a sheer nude. And I've been just loving these to keep on me all day, throw in my purse, just have on me at all times because they're really comfortable. They do not have a scent. I do have a video on that if you're curious on more of my thoughts. So first, I'm just going to pop into my new concealer. This is from Physicians Formula. This is the Butter Glow Concealer. Man, they made it very difficult for the consumers to purchase these new products from them. This I had to buy at, let me think, I got this one at Walmart. I got this contour palette from Target and the bronzer from Amazon. It's like going on a scavenger hunt whenever you want to try new Physicians Formula products, but I really do like that brand. The concealer, I didn't see many shade ranges. Online I only saw 3, but I think there's more on the website. I'm not too sure. I got the shade Fair, and honestly, it's kind of still yellow leaning, so just keep that in mind. They don't have the best shades and undertones. And this is not a first impressions with this product. I've already tried it before, and it does have that coconut scent if you are curious. This is honestly a pretty nice concealer. I have been wearing it and loving it, so I'm just going to kind of put it on my problem areas. I just had my skin in a good situation, and then I tried a new skincare moisturizer and it broke me out. Love how that works. I just need to stick with what I know and love because my skin was doing so good and now it's all flared up again. So I'm just going to first put on concealer and then we'll pop into my new foundation. It's not like a new foundation, but it's new to me. It's the Hourglass foundation. Everyone raves about it and I've been wanting to try it out, so that's what we're going to play with next. I had to put up my hair because it was driving me insane. So next I want to go in with the Hourglass Ambient Soft Glow Foundation. I've used this a few times and honestly, I don't know if high-end foundations are for me. It's a very expensive foundation, obviously. Hence Hourglass, but I was like, you know what, I want to start at the top. I want to start off with everyone's favorite from last year. So many people love this foundation because I just want a good, beautiful foundation in my life. And I do think that this is very beautiful, and they do have a lot of different shade ranges in the store. I noticed it's just, I don't think high-end foundations are necessarily for me because I feel like every foundation that I get that's high-end, I'm like, oh, okay, cool. Because I'm so used to drugstore foundations, and honestly, I just can't tell the big difference for such, I can't justify it for the price point because yes, it's a beautiful foundation, but I don't know, I just feel like my Wet n Wild foundations or my Maybelline, some L'Oreal foundations, it just, I don't know, they make my skin look the same way. I know the shade is very, very fair. I got the lightest shade. Probably too light for me, but I'm so fair right now that even a cool tone bronzer looks orange on me. That's how fair I am. Concealer, I have tried it with 3 different foundations and honestly it performed really good. I would say it's like medium to full coverage. It's very luminous. Let's see, does it wear all day? It kind of sinks into my fine lines way out here, so it's not going to be like my new holy grail, but I think it's a fun concealer. It's just not it's not going to be my go-to. Once I use it up, I probably won't repurchase it, but it's fine. Do I think you have to have it and need it? No, and I've also tried to use this little sponge on the end. It's okay. It's a little too firm for my liking, but it does get the job done if you're in a bind and you need it. So the concealer, it's I like it, but I'm not in love with it. And I've also just worn the concealer on its own as foundation, and I think it performed fine. It's just, it is one that tends to sink into your fine lines, so I'm not the biggest fan of that. And y'all know the foundation. I think it's beautiful, but that price point, I can't justify it. But I'm going to use it because it's really pretty. I think I got the wrong shade though, if I'm just being honest. Next, I want to use the Butter bronzer. What do you call it? Butter Glow liquid bronzer. I have been using this and loving this. You get a lot of product in here. It comes in 1.3 fluid ounces, and like, it's a lot. I like the packaging. I like how it's a squeezy tube, whereas the Charlotte Tilbury one that I love, it has a sponge on the end, and that's not very sanitary, you know, so you just need a very little bit on your sponge or brush, however you apply it, and the product goes a long ways. So I just normally do like a few dots over here, a few dots over here, and it blends out so beautifully. It's a little warmer, but it's nothing like too warm. I know right now it looks orangey on me, but I'm just super fair. I'm not too sure how many shade ranges they have in the bronzer. I think it's just like the classic butter bronzer shade, but I would love to see them expand in their shade range, because like for me, I like a cool tone bronzer, and you know, there's only so much, like, you can only build this up so much, so a lot of people won't be able to use this, I feel like, but it just blends out so beautifully, and it looks really nice once it's all applied. And it does give you a little bit of a sheen, so I do like it, but it's nothing like that's going to enhance your texture. It's nothing too glowy, but I have been loving this, so definitely it's a new favorite from the drugstore from me. So now you know about my thoughts on this. Love this so much. I want to move on to the contour palette, which I'm really excited about this as well. Oh, and I don't know if I mentioned, this smells just like the classic butter bronzer scent. So does the concealer, and so does this. Their products are very heavily scented, so definitely do not pick them up if you do not like fragrance in your makeup. This is what the contour palette looks like. I was so excited to get this. They do have another shade in this that's deeper. Obviously got the lightest one, but yeah, you get a contour, a bronzer, and like a setting powder. It's called a highlight. It says you could do it in the middle of the forehead, down your nose, under your eyes. So I'm just going to set all over my face with this. Typically I use my Hourglass powders for setting the face, but we shall see how this sets the face. It has a little bit of like a yellow undertone, so it's gonna definitely brighten. I'm really spoiled when it comes to powders on the face because I love the Hourglass. I have their face palette, and it sets your face without looking like powder. So far this is good. I do have the, let me get it so you'll see what I'm talking about. And this powder here looks like powder. You know, it can look a little cakey. Alright, now I'm going to set under the eye. I think it did a fine job. Set all over my face with it now. So far I'm liking this powder better than the one in the face palette. It honestly looks really nice. Okay, now that that powder is laid down, I'm going to go into the contour shade right here, which I love. A gray contour shade. I literally bronze with it too, just because I'm so fair. I have honestly been going into a Give Me Glow gray single shadow and contouring and bronzing my face with it, because I'm so fair right now that even a neutral bronzer just makes me look orange. So I absolutely love the undertone of how cool tone it is. But I can see a lot of people not loving that, but it is a contour after all. And I do like how they also have added the bronzer. I'll go in with the bronzer just a little bit because, like I said, I'm not there with bronzer right now. Like, I need a contour. But I'm just going to go in very lightly. And let's see, like pigmented. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. I'm going to need to do some blending. That's how fair I am. Okay, it blends out really easy. I'm just gonna add a little bit to my nose, and then we're gonna go in with a blush. So for blush, I'm gonna pop into this Essence Pure Nude Baked Blush in the shade Pretty Peach. I've been loving this little drugstore blush, okay? This is just as good as my Hourglass blush palettes because it just leaves such a similar effect to the skin. It has such a soft sheen to it. And the formula just looks incredible, and it doesn't enhance texture. It's just a very soft glow and I love it. So you can definitely build that blush up, or you could just have it very subtle and everyday. Now that the powder products are down, let me go into my sponge and then we'll go into a highlighter. But I cannot get enough of that blush. Before I go in with highlighter, I want to go back into this little contour palette and kind of clean up what we have going on. But I love this. This is so good. Okay, next let's go in with highlighter. And I'm just going to use my Nars Quad, and I'm just going to pop into that highlighter. I do have the Rare Beauty one, but right now I have to repress it because it broke. So I'll deal with that another day. But I'm just going to pop into this shade because it is so soft. You can definitely build this one up. The Rare Beauty is just very intense for me. So I've been enjoying this one more, but I love both of them. It just depends on if I'm wanting to like shine bright or just have a really pretty soft glow. But so far, this has just been my go-to highlighter that I cannot stop using. I love it so much. And the blushes in that palette are so good as well. Okay, so I just took off the lip balm from Tower 28. Now it's time to go in with the new e.l.f. lippy that I picked up. This is in the shade No Doubt. I love this lipstick. I have used it one time, but guys, it is so luxurious. I picked this up from Ulta because they were doing 10 times your points on a lip product, and I got this one because I really have wanted a magnetic closing lipstick. I do not own one. Well, I do now, but look how satisfying this is. Are you kidding me? I don't know if I can go back to life before I had this. Like, it is just so cute. I don't know. For someone who's never had that, I was like, ooh, that's exciting. I love the shade No Doubt because it's a very cool tone. It's a very me shade. And it says, like, it's super pigmented. And it is. It's very comfortable. And I just personally love the undertone of this lipstick for me. I have my Milani favorite that I love, and they're very similar in tone. But man, this is just like a me shade. I love the packaging. It's like a soft matte. This lipstick is just my favorite. Okay, it's so pretty. Now I'm gonna do my eyebrows and then we'll jump into the eyes. Okay, so I have got to do my eyelashes first. I will explain everything, but I'm going to be using the Telescopic Lift Mascara from Loreal. First, I'm going to curl my lashes, and I'll just get into explaining why I'm doing my lashes first, because you're like, girl, why aren't you doing your eyeshadow? Well, I'll tell you. So I've been testing this mascara out for 4 days now, and immediately my first impressions, which if you would have seen that video, you would have noticed, I was kind of excited about it. It immediately had lots of volume, lots of length, lifting. I was like, okay, I get the hype. I really do. I didn't even need to add false lashes. Okay, so let's get into the reasons why I don't like this mascara. So one, I only do one layer because it can get clumpy, which that's fine, but I like a mascara that separates my lashes. So is this particularly like my favorite? No, but it's okay. It's not like extreme clumpiness when you just do it like that. It's when you keep building it up, which it does say that you can add and add, but if you don't want clumps, don't. Just stick with one coat. But even with one coat, it gets clumpy. But the main reason why this mascara, I have to use it before I apply eyeshadow, is because it's such a wet formula. It tends to get all over my lids whenever I apply it, and my lower lash line, like underneath my lashes. And I have to always clean it up before, see, it's already on my lids, before I go in with eyeshadow, because whenever I do my eyeshadow first, it tends to mess it up. So this is just a personal preference. It does give you volume, length, lifting. I'm hoping that the formula dries out a little bit. It doesn't stay this wet. But even for me, I won't repurchase just because I'm not into like that super clumpy effect. But it's a fine mascara. It's just personal preference, what you like, what you don't like. And for me, I just want a mascara that separates my lashes and doesn't clump them together. But some of you have said that that doesn't do, this mascara does not clump yours together. I love that for you, but for me, it definitely does. So now I'm going to do the lower lash line. I'm trying to be so careful, but I'm already making a mess. it's really, really wet. Okay, I tried cleaning it up the best I could, is what it is. Next, I want to go in with the Nomad Verona Love and Death palette. I accidentally keep calling this Life and Death. I'm sorry. It's Love and Death. I'm going to go in with the shade Tomb, which is this lovely gray. I've been loving this top row with all the grays, cool tones. It's so wearable, or you can make it super smoky. But I've just been loving it for a transition, and then you build on it. I don't know, it's just like my favorite go-to with this palette. I'll normally pop into the grays and then add like a fun pop of pink or fun pop of blue. But I don't know, I've been really enjoying it. Okay, next I want to go in with the darker gray and just kind of add that on the outer corners, and then we're going to pop into the Berry Icy palette and kind of mix these two because they kind of remind me of each other, the way it's like warms with, or like the pinky tones with the blue tones. They're not dupes, but they just kind of, you know, have similar vibes in my opinion. And I don't know, I thought that we could just mix those two together. And I want to pop into the shade Fruity right here and just kind of add that to what we have going on. I really do enjoy how easy these matte formulas are to work with. They just blend out so fast. I'm taking that same shade of Fruity and just adding that to my lower lash line to bring in some of the pinky purple tones down here as well. And then it will be time to pop into a shimmer. I want to go into shimmers in both of these palettes. I have not used the shade Delicious yet, and I just want to pop that all over the lid. It is a beautiful purple blue duochrome. It's stunning, and I love the sparkles in this shade. How fun is that? Wow, I was not expecting it to be quite that intense. I'm going to do the same thing over here. For the inner corner, I want to go in with the shade Bittersweet. This is my favorite shimmer in the palette. It's a beautiful purple, pinky, goldy color. Just perfect for every day. For the lower lash line, I want to pop into the shade Tragedy and just add that really fun multi-chrome shimmer down here just for some extra depth. Oh, it's such a beautiful, unique shimmer shade. Okay guys, so this is the finished look, and I really want to like make my lips more pinky, so I'm going to use my Unearthly Cosmetics lippy in the shade Angela. And I love these. Like, yes, it can look really intimidating, but these shades are honestly like my favorite tones. I just add like a dot, and it is so pretty blended out. There. That's why I love these lippies. They just really transform every look, and they're very comfortable. So I'm going to zoom you out and give you my thoughts on these new products. Okay guys, so I'm just going to talk about these products in the order that I applied them today. First off with the concealer. I think it's a fine concealer. It's not like my new Holy Grail, but it's fine. I do like how it wears. The only flaw for this product, it kind of settles in my fine lines a little, and the undertone is really yellow, and I'm not too sure how many shades there are, but I only saw 3, so I don't know if this is a concealer that you need to just like have in your life. I still prefer the Sephora Best Skin Ever concealer. That's my holy grail. Next, as far as foundation, the Ambient Soft Glow Foundation from Hourglass. This was everyone's favorite, so I really wanted to try it. It's just personally, like I said before, I don't think high-end foundations are for me because I like drugstore foundations. I think they do like just a great job, and I also like my Sephora Best Skin Ever foundation. So yeah, it's okay, but I'm not going to repurchase. Like, I don't know, I guess I'm weird. I'm just not into high-end foundations. Moving on to the Butter Glow Liquid Bronzer. I really like this product. I'm so happy that I picked it up. It's a little frustrating how hard it was to get all the products I wanted from Physicians Formula, but I'm glad that I have them. And this is an amazing bronzer. I love it. It blends out so fast, so easy. Like, I don't even see myself buying a new high-end bronzer, like as far as liquid goes, because this is so good and it gets the job done. I would love to see a cool tone or more shades in that, but I love it. It's so good. It smells nice. It feels nice. Blends out. I love the sheen to it. Love the packaging. It's a hidden gem. So if you are looking for a new liquid bronzer, I think you might like it. But, you know, you'll just have to see what undertones you like the best, because it is a little warm leaning. Okay, next moving on to the contour palette from Physicians Formula. I love it. It's so good. I think that this powder really did a nice job setting my face, and it doesn't look like that powder look, you know? Is it as good as Hourglass powders? No, but I think it did a fine job. This contour shade, I love it. This will be gone. I will pan this sucker. It's just so nice. And the bronzer is pretty as well. And I like how it can get deep, but also it blended out very easily. So, such a good formula. I love a pigmented but blendable formula. And that's what you get right here. Next, moving on to blush. Where did I even put the blush? Okay, I found it. It is right here. This is from Essence. I love this blush. They do have a few that I saw in stores, but they all look the same. They were like all different shades. So I do hope going forward they make a larger selection, like range of products with different undertones, not just like mauve tones. You know, even the peachy one looked pretty mauve up close to all of them. So I would just like to see different tones in blushes going forward instead of 8 shades of mauve, in my opinion. But the formula is excellent. It's my favorite drugstore blush. So definitely recommend it if you're in the market for a new blush, or, you know, next time you see it, if it ends up in your bag, you might like it. Okay, next, the highlighter that I use from Nars. This is really expensive, but the formula is good. So if you are looking for a high-end quad, it's a good one. I'm not going to lie. It's a really good one. It's a very glowy formula, but that beautiful Lit Within glow, I love it. I use it all the time. So next, I think, okay, the mascara and lippy. Let me start off with a positive note. I love this lipstick from e.l.f. I am just fascinated with the magnetic closure. It's the only one I have in my collection, so I adore it. I love the formula. It reminds me a lot of my MAC lipsticks, of my Milani lipstick, so I just personally, it just fits well with my lifestyle. I love the undertone of the shade, no doubt. It's perfect. I like the packaging, how it feels soft matte. It just feels like such a luxurious lippy. And I don't know, it feels like it'd be like a $30 lipstick. So that's why some products like foundations, lippies, I don't like to buy high end because there's just so many good drugstore finds. So definitely a staple in my collection going forward. Let's see, now the mascara. I don't think it's the best mascara ever, and it's not the worst mascara ever. It's just, for me, we'll start off on the positive note. I like how it lifts, it gives you volume, and it lengthens. But on me, it gets very clumpy. It is a very wet formula, so it transfers on my lids, so I have to get a Q-tip or a spoolie and kind of clean it off under and on top of my lids and under, because, you know, like, and then throughout the day it crumbles and it transfers on my face. So will I repurchase? No, but I think it's an okay mascara, but on me it transfers and it crumbles, and I don't know, I'm hoping in like maybe a week or two it will kind of dry a little bit more. It's just so wet, and I'm like so careful to not get it on my lids and stuff. I don't know, it's fine, but it's not my favorite. And then as far as eyeshadow palettes go, the one from Berry Icy, or the one from Simply Posh, Berry Icy, I love it. These shimmers are so beautiful. Sparkly duochromes. I already have a review up on my channel in case you are curious. Mattes are amazing. And the Nomad Verona Love and Death palette. Look at this packaging. Like, they just killed it. And then the inside of the Color Story, I absolutely adore it. I like the formula. The mattes are my favorite. The shimmers are a little firmly pressed, but they're still beautiful and sparkly once you get them on the eyes. So, I don't know, guys. The only dud for this video, honestly, was like the mascara. Everything else worked perfectly, like new holy grail status. This lipstick, love it. This blush, love it. Also, love this liquid bronzer. And then, of course, the palette. Like, these are just, like, my new shiny things that I like, you know? But anyways, that's going to do it for today's video. Please let me know down below some newer makeup products you are loving, or maybe some products that you have been shopping your stash for, some oldies but goodies that still you just can't stop reaching for. I would love to know, but that's going to do it for today. Wherever you are in the world, I hope you're doing well. I hope that you are healthy, happy, and safe. Stay beautiful. Bye, guys.